I don't want to get on Clint too much because I mean he is a talent, and he homered last night. Although I did look peer into that dugout on the Yes broadcast and did see his teammates sort of golf clapping in the respect sort of way, like, okay, nice job, Clint. Now talk up to the media and don't lead all the questions on us. I saw on the broadcast last night, David Cohn and David Wells were talking. David Wells, by the way, who did a phenomenal job in the booth. I think his first game during the regular season. Congratulations, Boomer, on doing a great game with Coney. They're both talking about how Boomer would not answer the media. He would deflect. He would go. And Cohn would talk to him. Cohn would say, hey, man, you're leaving questions for us. You got to be accountable with this stuff. And Boomer admitted, a man who did exactly what Frazier did last night, a few nights ago. They've both done it. David Wells, Boomer admitted his mistakes. He admitted he should have talked to them, and he felt bad for doing it. I don't know if Clint feels bad. I don't know this. I mean, I'm not sitting out here trying to get into his mind. But there's an example. A guy who did it, a guy who didn't talk to the media, deflected questions to his other teammates, made them answer questions for him, feels bad about doing it, said he shouldn't have done it. He said he shouldn't have done it. So there's, I mean, I don't know what else I can give Clint Frazier. Just, that's not what you do. It's questions all the time, none of the time, and you're accountable. That's what a man and a human being should do. So, Clint, if you keep hitting and your defense improves, this will all wash away. Trust me. I know it's a very what have you done for me lately sort of media circuit, and I know that because I've lived here all my life and I know how baseball works. So, if you improve, they won't be talking about this. Trust me. But the key word there is improve. Speaking of improving, the Yankees could be improving their rotation very shortly. Hopefully. Because Mark Feinsand is letting the world know that Dallas could be coming to New York. Remember our old buddy Dallas Keuchel, the free agent who's still out there. Him and Greg Kimbrell, both still free agents, could be signing soon. And Keuchel said he'd shave his beard. So he wants to be here. I mean, we have a 38-20 record. 38-20 or 30-21. One of the two. We are a good team. Now, how long can the rotation withstand not having Severino? We don't know. Now, last show I said how it would crowd the rotation, and I still believe that, but I was presented with something that I didn't foresee. CC Sabathia is a 5-inning pitcher, which, hey, that's fine. He's in his last season. He's going to retire this year. And he's pitched well. But CC's going 5 innings. And you could have essentially 2 starters in one game, where you can have CC go 5, and you can have Herman pitch in his games, go 3-4 innings. They close the game out. So you piece together games like that. Say the rest of the bullpen. So it's like he's starting every day that CC's starting. That's a way you can get him out of the rotation and Keuchel into it. Now, Keuchel is a ground ball machine. He does not throw overly hard. I mean, that's not a secret. He's always made his career on the ground. And Yankee fans know that very well. He has torn apart the Yankees both in the playoffs and in the regular season. Actually, the first guy to ever homer off of Dallas Keuchel as a Yankee was Giancarlo Stanton last season. So it's been a while for the Yankees to get anything off of Dallas Keuchel. So the old phrase, if they can't beat him, join him. Well, please join us. Join us. And from everything I'm hearing, he wants to be here. Now, in 2017, he was 14-5 with a 2.90. 2016, he was 9-12 with a 4.55. 2015, he was 20-8 with a 2.48. Won a Cy Young Award. In 2018, he was 12-11 with a 3.74. In Houston, bandbox. New York, bandbox as well. But gave him a lot of hits. So he has the potential to be a very good pitcher on this team. Because, face it, any arm we get right now that's above average, which you know who the above average arms are, Dallas Keuchel being one of them, is going to help this team. It's just no secret. He's that good. And a rotation with another lefty is obviously a plus. So think about this. Severino is essentially 1 week into his quote-unquote spring training. Severino needs about 6 weeks after throwing for the first time to be ready for game action. He threw about a week ago. I saw him throw in the outfield on the Yes Network. So I saw him throwing. That was like step one. So take about 6 weeks from there. That's a week ago. 6 weeks from there. So in about 5 weeks, we could have him back, hopefully. You could have a rotation of Severino, Paxton, Keuchel, Happ, Tanaka, and maybe even and Sabathia. You could have a 6-man. And also, you could have a 6-man. You could rest guys. I'm not a huge fan of the 6-man rotation. I think it gets guys out of the rhythm, especially guys who are creatures of habit like Tanaka and like Keuchel. But having an arm like that in the rotation is too good an opportunity to pass up. You're not going to lose draft pick now. You're not going to lose. You're not going to lose something of value that you don't need. Essentially, Do you really need Keuchel? Not really. But that being said, it's good to have him. What can you lose having Dallas Keuchel on your team? You really don't lose much. He is a bulldog. We saw him pitch against us. I was at the playoff game. I was at the one-game playoff Yankees had against Houston in 2015. And we lost 3-0. 3-0. Tanaka pitched okay, but Keuchel pitched like an ace. And that guy's still there. Now, he's not a normal pitcher. And I'm not going to compare him to this guy because I'm comparing their careers or their stuff. I'm just comparing by how hard they throw. Greg Maddux made a career out of topping out at 88 miles an hour. The man couldn't make a pane of glass. But he made a career out of throwing that soft because his ball moved. He had great movement, pinpoint control too. If Keuchel is on his day, if he is himself, he doesn't have to be on. He doesn't have to be like Nolan Ryan on, like he's focused. He could throw a no-hitter today. No, he just has to be himself. His control is very good. His sinker moves a lot. He keeps his fastball down. He throws a lot of good breaking stuff. He could fit right into this rotation, and he can be back. Apparently, they're saying that he's been throwing like he's in a rotation, so he can be on this team a week within signing. But it's all about signing him. He said to shave his beard, so that's important. He definitely has expressed interest in being here. But remember, the Yankees aren't the only team. The Yankees are not the only team interested in Keuchel. There's probably 3 or 4 or 5 teams that are interested in Keuchel. And also, the money. What kind of money does he want? There's a lot of different factors. I've heard a lot of people say, well, go out and sign Keuchel now. The draft's over. Why? And I know I just said a glowing diatribe about why we should sign Keuchel, because it'll help, obviously. But there's money to be thrown out here. There's a lot of other things that come into play than just going out and signing Dallas Keuchel. Yes, you can go out and sign Dallas Keuchel, but the money. Who bumps out of the rotation? Does it impact trades? Does it impact this? There's a lot of other things you can go into that don't just have to deal with Dallas Keuchel entering the rotation and being a New York Yankee. There's far-reaching aspects of this aside from just him signing the dotted line, Dallas Keuchel, and then being a Yankee. So Keuchel could be or couldn't be a Yankee. It's really only time will tell. I would gladly cheer him on as a New York Yankee. I would love to see him here. It'd be a nice It would be a very nice addition to this team. But whatever happens, happens. And Dallas, if you're listening, we'd like you here. We'd like to see you as a Yankee. But on from that, because I can go on for Dallas Keuchel for hours. I like him as a pitcher. I've always liked him as a pitcher. He's disappointed me when he was getting injured with the Astros, but I think he's back. And the whole draft thing disappointed me. Not the draft. The whole free agency disappointed me. This free agency was supposed to be huge, and it was to an extent. But guys like Harper and Machado waited until spring training started. I mean, guys got short-term deals. Guys like, McCutchen didn't get a big deal. I feel bad for Andrew McCutchen. He just got hurt. So, just some big-time contracts, obviously, for Harper and Machado. But guys like Gio Gonzalez on a minor league deal. It's rather interesting. It's rather interesting to see what free agency did to these players and what free agency is still doing to these players. Keuchel is still a free agent. Yes, I'm talking about him, but he is still a free agent. He has not signed. At the making of this show, he has not signed a contract. Neither is Craig Kimbrell. Craig Kimbrell was putting together a Hall of Fame career on pause because he didn't want what they were offering. Now, I don't know what free agency has done, but all I know is that Bryce Harper and Manny Machado got the money they wanted. What they didn't get was the city they wanted. Machado and Harper both wanted to be Yankees. That is no secret. They both wanted to be Yankees. Neither of them went to the Yankees. They were waiting for the money from the right team. They didn't get the money from the right team. They got the money, not from the right team. So, I kind of tossed my hands up because I'm confused as if, well, is the money out there for these players? Because it seems that the money's out there for these players, because look what Harper and Machado got. But then you look at guys like Gio Gonzalez, who can't get a major league contract. So, is it the desire of the team is not there? Or is it that they're not getting the money that they want from the teams they want? There's a whole bunch of aspects that lead to this. It's a kind of perfect storm of the owners getting smarter and just knowing what they can and can't be giving these players, because people have learned you're not going to get a Pujols deal anymore. You're not going to get a 30-year-old getting a 10-year deal, because look what happens with the Pujols deal. You're not going to get an Ellsbury deal anymore. An unproven ball player's done it once. You got a big-time contract. Those deals are not going to come anymore, and I don't blame the owners for it. Look at the Yankees getting burned by the Ellsbury deal. The Angels, as much as I love Albert, Hall of Famer, great ball player, the Angels are getting burned by that Pujols deal. They can go out and sign. They could have went out and signed Patrick Corbin this offseason if they didn't have that deal. They could have gone out and signed Bryce Harper. Made that outfield great. Get some starting pitching, get some relief pitching. But no, they're held down. They're bogged down by an albatross at first base, and I feel bad. I love Albert. I'm a huge fan of Albert Pujols. Man's going to the Hall of Fame. From everything I've heard, he's a super nice person and a good man. But his contract is just terrible. Chris Davis of the Orioles, terrible. So you're not going to see those deals anymore, especially for pitchers. You're not going to get burned by a Kevin Brown deal anymore, because for pitchers are too fragile. The biggest deal this offseason that went to a pitcher was Corbin. And it was a big deal, but, it wasn't some huge astronomical number that you wow, that's amazing. That's incredible. That's a good deal. It's a good deal. Good pitcher, good deal. Those deals are over for pitchers. Those huge 10-year deals for pitchers. The Greinke deal, you'll never see that again. And rightfully so. So free agency has confused me. It's confusing ball players and analysts alike. So, hey, do I think Keuchel will be a Yankee? I do. But we'll see how it impacts the Yankees far beyond just signing Dallas Keuchel. And speaking of, and if you sign him, you won't sacrifice the draft pick anymore. And that's good, because the draft is come and gone, and the Yankees made themselves a few interesting picks. The Yankees had the 30th and 38th picks in the first round of the draft. With their 30th